people are becoming in denial mode.
I don't know.
So
It could also be the herd immunity.
maybe because of that also. But I already has suffered corona about 1 month back.
I mean, in my family, 3 people were tested positive. We don't know whether they really had. Yeah, are you live? Okay. Good morning, everybody. So, welcome to the Saturday session on environment and farm. Today, we have a very passionate entrepreneur with us, and his name is Partha Pratim Pathak. Partha is an Indian young entrepreneur who passed out from Assam Engineering College and started the organization with the name Fresh Air. This was in 2002, and it has been almost 17 years that he has been working with the healthcare waste. The Fresh Air was basically envisioned with the idea that Assam should, like many other states, have a good healthcare waste management because it's considered one of the most hazardous. So, Partha started that in Guwahati, and today he runs one of the probably the biggest in the entire Northeast. It is a private waste management services, and he pioneered the biomedical waste in Northeast region. His organization is registered under the Companies Act, and what we are going to hear that not besides his own journey that how it went up, but also we would like to hear from him that what were the challenges that he faced as an independent entrepreneur. Usually people who come out from engineering colleges would like to have a job or to start something that is not so challenging. Basically, a more cushy thing or more cushy thing to do in life. Anajori, the platform that Partha is talking about is a collaborative platform with various organizations that works on bringing a lot of social and economic aspects for the budding entrepreneurs and the people who would like to make a difference in Northeast and Assam in particular. And it is in this context that we are organizing this webinar every Saturday. So, Partha, you are welcome here. We would like to hear your journey, your challenges with related to healthcare waste management. And then we'll open the form. We are also live on Facebook. We would like to open the form for question and answers. And also many of our own friends will have questions and answers on this. So Partha, the platform is yours. Welcome to the Environment and Farm session of Anajori on Saturday morning. Welcome, Partha.
Very good morning to Sanjay and all the participants, and congratulations to Anajari for uh, uh, making it possible to for such a session, and it's a privilege for me to be a part of it. And I'm directly coming to the point. Um, my journey in Fresh Air, it started, as Sanjay said, in 2002 in a very crude manner. I was a pass out from Assam Engineering College, and I, as most of the people do, I also went for a job in the oil sector. And eventually, I happened to come back to Guwahati for different reasons, and started uh, this business in 2002. That time, I happened to work in a hospital project, and we were in need of some disposal facility. So in that way, I came to know about it. So that incineration is required, and it was a preferred subject for me during my college days also. So I had the basic knowledge, and it as I did my project on it. But the thing is that the environment. Uh, on which we have to start the work was not there at that time in Northeast. Not only in Northeast, I worked quite a long period in Mumbai, and even in a place in Mumbai, mm, uh, awareness on waste management or requirement of waste management was not uh, as intense mm, at the time as now. So first, I that was the first challenge I faced, and the second thing is that awareness amongst the people also, because when I worked out on a plan, am I audible?
You are fully
Yeah,
Yes, you are.
audible.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Absolutely fine.
yeah. Because there were some initial hiccups. That's why. Yeah. So, uh, the second thing is that when this we started the work, it came like uh, there was a hospital. It was a very good hospital, and now it has become the Apollo Hospital. And they had an incinerator, which was the one of the major machinery for disposal of biomedical waste, and that was not working. So the story started like this, that I went there and rectified all the problems, and I offered them to make it use of the incinerator as a common incinerator. So with few hospitals, I started as a common incinerator, and then the bigger facility came in a place called Rani in the periphery of Guwahati. But on that part of journey for implementation of this project, two major problems came. One is to educate people about the need of such a system, because I'm talking about 2002 2003, when we didn't have this kind of apartment or development kind of things in Guwahati. So there were a lot of open spaces, and as we know, a lot of mm, water bodies available in the city. So the easiest option the hospitals or healthcare facilities used to have, they could dump those items in those water bodies. In somebody's backyard also there are water bodies. So it was a very easy option. So first, my challenge was to, because it was not costing them anything. So my challenge was to make them understand um, the requirement, or make them understand the requirement of such project, and what they are going to face in the coming time, say after 10 years. I was showing a picture to them of 2013, when I was in 2002. So probably that was one of the challenge, because people could not understand, or was not been able to was not ready to understand uh, mm, mm, the situation. But ultimately that was the first hurdle which was crossed, and we didn't have to wait for 2013 also. So it by 2007 2008, that same problem started, because the culture of apartments, real estate development, it started, and thereby those water bodies was getting started, were getting vanished slowly, and there was no open space. That was the first thing. And the second thing is that uh, the awareness amongst the people uh, people works in the regulatory authorities, because in those days, even in the regulatory authorities, waste management was not the number one issue. They have got their own issues also, own requirements also. But by 2005 or 2006, there was a huge change in the frame of minds of the people working in the regulatory authority, and there was a huge change. I exactly don't know what was the reason, but few people came inside, say in the form of a chairman or from a member secretary, or few young people in the as an engineer, as though as engineers of the pollution control board, or maybe Guwahati Municipal Corporation, who in fact helped this matter, and who imposed fines, penalties, who in fact organized or helped me to organize uh, training programs. So in that way, the authority, the 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 part of the authority also started playing on it. And the third challenge was the actual implementation of the project. The You have to organize the finance from the banks. So for this kind of ideas, which are very new to a society, having a common biomedical waste treatment facility uh, for a city, it's a very new thing in the year 2003. So at that time, when I approached banks with those uh, DPRs or any write-ups, the first thing is that again the awareness thing came into play, and the in the good part of the Indian banking system also become the hindrance for me in getting finance, because Indian system of getting finance is very good in comparing to others, as what we have understood after the global turmoil also. Because the system is such that you get finance only after uh, getting assurance from the project that it is going to be viable. So the viability factor was the one main thing, but parallelly this drive was also going on from pollution control board, that common facility should be there. So that helped me a bit. And ultimately it was NETFI, Northeast Finance Development Organization, who in fact financed one of the major machinery for me. And uh, it was the third hurdle, major hurdle, which was crossed. And in normal, all kind of business and all kind of entrepreneurship, whatever you say, those other things will always come into play, but that those are not big issues. But these three things are the I considered it to be hurdles. But small things will always come, like uh, uh, again those awareness among the administration. Sometime you are carrying biomedical waste containing body part. So even then also, for a new people in those days, I'm talking about. Nowadays that thing is not a problem. So you may they may insist you to open the bags of the biomedical waste, and they will find, when they will find a piece of leg or a body part, then they will ask you from where you have taken it. So it was a big challenge, and it happened to us at times in the initial days. So these are the challenge, but I don't consider it to be a challenge. But the main challenge was those three.
So how did it come over from awareness, from financing to awareness and to the current stage? How did the journey go?
Yeah,
Particularly considering as a startup, something which was not there in those days. Nobody talked about a startups. It's only
yeah,
in the
yeah,
last 3 4 years we have started talking up.
yeah,
So
yeah.
in a way, you were much ahead of the thinking that the government is doing today. So what kind of challenges did you face?
Yeah. You are asking about challenges, or how we could overcome the other small
Yeah,
challenges.
how we could overcome all these challenges? Yes.
Other challenges, small challenges. Yes. One good thing which came into play was the electronic media. I have seen even while my business started growing, I have seen electronic media is also growing in Assam. So initial days there was no TV channels and all, but later on the number of TV channels and the aggressiveness also came into play. But it in fact helped us, though sometimes we also had problems, but it in fact helped us because it gave it gave an uh, very fast awareness amongst the normal people whom you cannot reach normally, because I'm not talking about a doctor or a hospital staff or anybody related to a hospital or healthcare facility. I'm talking about a normal person, maybe a grocery shop owner, or maybe a housewife, or maybe a school level student also. So in that way, the the hazard which the biomedical waste or this kind of waste carries, uh, this particular awareness where uh, this kind of awareness program were basically done by media, electronic media, because every now and then they started mm, uh, playing out some video clips, or they have reported about the management of bad management of biomedical waste in those days. And those people, as I have said, this grocery shop owner or a housewife or a school student, they were not aware that in those days they were not aware about a syringe which lying on a dustbin, or a packet of maybe mm, a packet of uh, 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 maybe on what do you call it, um, items contaminated with blood and body fluid, say cottons or some rags lying on the dustbin, or maybe somewhere near a locality. They those reports mm, coming in the newspaper or electronic media with all those audio visuals really created a huge awareness in a very short period of time. So you can do awareness programs in hospitals and hospital related organizations, but you cannot run an awareness program in a sector or those segment of amongst those segment of people who are not at all related to the healthcare facilities. So now in Assam, especially in Guwahati, you cannot throw a biomedical any a small piece of biomedical waste in a dustbin, or even in a place in an open place, because you will get people immediately within minutes, people will come and they start complaining. So that is one part of the mm, 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 uh, challenge which was sorted out through electronic media. And the second thing is that uh, some of the challenges um, were sorted out by time. Like initially, administration, say a few people working in the few officers, or uh, pol- uh, people working in the police department, they were not aware of biomedical waste, and we had to face difficulties in the initial time. But now the things have changed. uh, 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 you won't believe that during this COVID period, uh, uh, i- um, the way the police department or the people working in the police department helped us, we cannot. In fact, I don't have any words to explain how the way they helped us. They help whenever they see our vehicle showing carrying biomedical waste, because those stickers and all those things are there. So now nowadays, even there have been instances wherever there is a traffic jam, they it they created spaces to pass our vehicle. So these are the new things which has come up. But the initially as those awareness were not there, we had to face problems.
Very
Even the
commendable.
parking, yeah, even the parking areas also, when there are no parking zones. But we have received a lot of helps from the police department. So that's what the two big things which I have faced, uh, and which has given good result. One is the electronic media, and one is the police department. So it has helped us a lot. So these are the two practical things we have come across. And as far as finance is concerned, as you know, you are also, Sanjay, you are into this sector for a long period of time, and you are one of the pioneers in the upper Assam area. So you can see, you can feel that to run such kind of activities, mm, for not only in biomedical waste, in waste management, even in municipal solid waste, as municipal solid waste comes in a very huge quantity. But ultimately, one thing you have to make sure is that you have to dispose your collected waste immediately, as soon as possible. I'm telling you a difference between a normal biscuit factory industry. What I'm saying, not say in the an instance of a biscuit factory and a industry related to waste management, say your facility or my common biomedical waste treatment facility. What the difference is that they, for a biscuit factory, for instance, for a biscuit factory, their raw material is flours and other things. And whenever they have got ample of raw material, they can ask their people, okay, don't buy, we have got ample of raw material right now, don't buy it, and we will make the finished product. And once the raw material is empty, then we can go and buy it again. But in case of biomedical waste management or any kind of waste management, if you see, the what is the main uh, uh, what is the main raw material, or you can say that is your biomedical waste only. And this raw material will keep on coming 24 into 7. And you can, if you cannot ask any hospital, or you cannot ask any healthcare facility, okay, we have got enough of biomedical waste or waste in our storage, so don't send it to us, or we are not going to collect. You cannot say that. So that is the main difference. You have to ensure that all your machinery, all your system, all your people should work 24 into 7. You have to make sure that your system works 24 into 7 without any break, because your waste is going to come every day, and you have to ensure that it works all the time. So that is the main difference between the other sector of industries and this sector of industry. So that is, if you have to term it as a challenge, yes, it's a challenge. And in the initial time, uh, mm, since we stay in Assam, we cannot compare Guwahati with Pune or Mumbai, because
Right.
whenever there is a whenever there is a small spare part problem, if there is a, you have to change a spare part, you have to wait uh, for say 2 months, 3 months to receive that spare part.
Spare
So
part. Yes.
how we overcome that? We decided, instead of uh, waiting for such a long period, we personally visited uh, the source of spare parts, like say mostly our spares comes in from Pune. So we directly myself directly went to Pune and procured the spare part and brought back to Guwahati, and it took maximum 3 days for settling a maintenance problem, and that has been happening right from the beginning. So that is one kind of challenge, but nowadays in Guwahati also lot of things are available, but these things is going to come because new machineries are coming, new enhancement are going on the machines. So that is going to come, and you have to adopt the situation. So even in bigger metros also that problem is there, but here you cannot wait. uh, as I have said, for a biscuit factory maybe for one week you can wait, but for biomedical waste you cannot think about one week also. Within as soon as possible you have to sort out the matter. So for that, first of all, you try to have that kind of system in your organization, to procure this kind of spare parts or any maintenance issue. You have to have your own people, because even okay, forget about spare part, even for maintenance issue you have to have your own engineers, so or your own technicians. You have to develop your own technicians. Maybe a arts graduate also may be a technician. He may not be a science graduate. So you have to use your own resources in terms of manpower and all. So and if you see the picture right now, it may seem to be very complicated, but it didn't. It has not been developed in one day. It came in a process of 10 and 11 years or 17 years, 16 years, like that. So
It
it
might look
takes
simple
time.
today.
Yeah. So that is the thing. And all you have to keep is that keep your positive frame of mind. Whoever any youngsters, whoever who starts business in this sector or any other sector, you will also say that that positive frame of mind will have to has to be there. As in your sector also, you have seen, and I know how much challenges you have faced, but that positive frame of mind should be there. Ultimately the bottom line will always be that line is there, that you have to be positive.
Something that I would like to pick on is what you said about the role of the media.
Yeah.
What we see today is gradually, I can tell you for surety that today, at least the local media has not been positive for whatever reason. I see it in municipal waste, biomedical waste. They raise issues not because they want to generate awareness, but they have ulterior motives. What was your uh, methodology? What is your approach to the media that they took it positively, they made it a medium of awareness? So how did you do that? This is something that everybody would like to know, because as we see, maybe the difference in 2003 to 2013, the media had a different frame of mind, that they had a different format. And how did you take on that? What was your approach? Because today it doesn't seem to be working. If you see any of the news media, they're constantly being negative. But what you said is really, really very heartening on the one side, and then also a curiosity to learn that how did that happen. Please elaborate on that.
Yeah, Sanjay, it's a very tricky question. In fact, this thing, I didn't think about any kind of methodology, but I dealt it the way it came to me. But yes, you are right. Mm, Uh, but I think that has come this negative kind of thing. The terminology you said, I forgot what you said. Anyways, so
Ulterior motives.
ulterior motives. Yeah. So thing is that yeah, media plays a big role in the positivity and the negativity also. And and but ultimately people have also as of now, what I have seen, people have become also very aware. They can also screen out the uh, reports which has been published or played in the media, they are also well aware what is the what is the authenticity of a report, whether they have to believe it or believe. So you have to, whatever media is going to publish everything or anything, you think like that, I think like that, and I leave it to the people. Because surprisingly, I have also come across this kind of things, but surprisingly, I have seen people, and they are smart enough nowadays. Uh, as I have said, even a grocery shop owner, even a small panwala, even a sweeper, they are smart enough, and they knows the basic things which is right or wrong published in the media. And the second thing is that, yeah, media, it is their work to publish report or play out video clips. They what I think, okay, let them do that. But even the negative things also. Oh, sorry, I got a call. Even the negative things also ultimately helped us a lot, as I have said. Because if there is for example, for a small example, I now that is coming in my mind. There is a missionary hospital, and in Guwahati, small hospital, and they in nearby, and they had a tie up with me for uh, collection, transportation, treatment, disposal of biomedical waste. But one day, uh, there was a huge hue and cry in the media, in one of the electronic media rather, that biomedical waste was found just about 50 meters away from their facility. And ultimately, I have been called by one of the officers of the authority to, as he had come for inspection also. So I went there, and if you directly see on the reports that was coming in the video clip, you will find that, yeah, the hospital is doing might be doing some mischiefs, but ultimately what came as a fact, that there are few small unregistered uh, healthcare facility, I should say, uh, uh, that has been operated in a nearby pharmacy, 3 4, and they used to throw those biomedical waste generated in those healthcare facilities near the wall of that particular established healthcare facility. And ultimately, that was the good thing, though the motive was different, maybe different or good, but in the report, they were directly targeting on that hospital, that they are throwing those items
Right.
in the open. But ultimately, the good thing is that all everybody came to know, and the regulatory authority person, they have caught hold of those three small organizations. They have penalized them, and now they are part of the whole biomedical waste management system, and they are running their businesses, and in a much better way. So that is, though the motive was different. And as far as my facility is concerned, we happen to face flood um, during the rainy season, and during the flood time, mm, mm, one incident happened with me. Because we um, uh, that happened in the last year, in fact, when this COVID was on the peak. That time, all the let me tell you in a very short way, that all the whatever biomedical waste comes, as you know, there are basically two types of biomedical waste. One is incinerable and one is non-incinerable. And out of the non-incinerable, there are recyclable items, plastic items, just for example, syringes, saline bottles. So what we do, these are sterilized through autoclaving or chemical treatment, and then we again process it through shredding. Those things are cut into small pieces, and they are ultimately sold to, once this process is done, they are ultimately sold to authorized recyclers authorized by pollution control board. So that is a process not only followed by me, but the whole country. All the So that is the prescribed process in the biomedical waste rule. And since February, all the recycling industry, plastic recycling industry are closed. They are not fully open even now also at this point of time. So ultimately what's happening, all those treated biomedical waste are getting accumulated, and you cannot imagine how it's a huge quantity of biomedical, maybe 15 tons, 16 tons. 15, 16 tons means don't go about the weightage, you go into the volume. What kind of volume it will be? It was full. So what we have arranged, those were treated biomedical waste. They were not biomedical waste actually, and as it is treated, they are treated and as good as non-municipal solid waste, but they are recyclable, and they were waiting to be picked up by recyclers for recycling. When this flood water came, and they were kept in a separate place after information to the pollution control board, and they were kept in a separate place, and that place also belongs to me and very adjacent to the common biomedical waste treatment facility. But again, this over awareness, I should say, a few people, not all. It came, and it made a hue and cry that these are all biomedical waste, and flood waters are getting inside of the premises. So later on, again, when this thing came, when the inspections, and we have to face inspection in those days, and ultimately we came clear. But thing is that you have to face it. And as I have said in the earlier time, that you leave it to the people. You cannot go to each and every people in the midst of such kind of pandemic, that see, this is the this thing is this that thing in this. You cannot go and tell each and everyone. It's let the people to decide. If it is published in the, you better be clear about it. So that has been my approach. So this and that is the way of dealing the negativity of electronic media, or whatever media you say. But
Yeah.
ultimately that will be there, and because of that aggressiveness of the media also, uh, uh, people are very cautious that
Yeah.
this media will come, you may get,
True.
if the report may get published, or some video clip may, so people are very cautious. So even all those negativities, I find it very positive. So so
Good. You
this,
have kept a very positive frame of mind, even around so much of negativity, and that's something to learn, because
yeah,
one has to be very have to have perseverance. One has to have that tolerance, and have to go through those mental agonies when such reports come out. We have to get inspected. You have to present yourself before the pollution
yeah,
control
yeah,
board.
yeah, yeah,
One thing I can suggest, one is, Partha, if there is plastics and papers which cannot be sent for recycling, I can offer you to send them to cement factory under the government
right,
rules
right, right,
for
right,
energy recovery. So that
right.
is something, if you let me know, even whether it's 5 ton or 10 tons, I can
Mm,
organize it at no cost.
mm,
So
mm,
basically the PRO
mm.
will come and take it up in case if
Yes, yeah,
want to.
that's a very good initiative you have taken, and even I have also recently came aware of it. But as you know, there are different kind of plastics used in biomedical waste. Now,
Right.
few of the industries which has opened, they have taken plastics, PP or LD kind of plastics, but
Yeah.
there are several plastics uses vials, plastic vials, which has to be segregated from their portion itself. Like those are mixed with crystals and glass items, and uh, those cement factories are not taking those items
Yeah, they
because
won't take metal and glass for sure. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
any
yeah.
kind of plastic,
Right,
multi-layer plastics,
right,
that they will accept.
right,
My
definitely.
my next question, and probably I won't take much of your times, is on coverage and capacity. One of the things that I have observed in Northeast while traveling is that the small towns like say Tinsukia, Sipsagar, they don't have a decent system of biomedical waste processing and decontamination, and neither do they have a decent collection system. And somehow the pollution control board is not doing a good monitoring job. In a bigger city like Guwahati, you are able to make it financially or economically viable. How do you make small towns who require the same level of services, probably with the same quality and same coverage? How do you how does one go from being financially viable in a metro city to being financially viable in a small city like Tinsukia with a population of 1.5 lakh, and many small cities like 30,000, 50,000? So if you can enlighten us that how can that be taken up, we as a learners will be happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's a very good question, and in fact, that's a very practical one. Because if we look back in the year 2000 to 2003, even the situation in Guwahati was also like that. There was hardly 20 odd hospitals in Guwahati, comparing to Mumbai, where there were about 25,000 to 30,000 beds at that time. So so coming back to the
Can you turn your
scenario of
video
Assam.
on, Partha? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yeah. So coming back to the scenario in Assam, yeah, it is a big challenge to make it viable. The viability factor is there, and the factor directly is related to the number of beds, because if you go to if you charge the hospital in terms of quantity of biomedical waste, or even number of beds also, the for to make such a common facility where investment is going to be around, with the new rules and all, it is investment is going to be around 8 to 9 crores. That For that kind of facility to make viable, to get the break even by 7 to 8 years, you need number of beds not less than 7,000, so which is possible in Guwahati and five districts, but it is not at all possible in Tinsukia, uh, or other small places, even in Borak Valley also. So what now, and that's why this biomedical waste treatment facilities, I think that is one of the major reasons why it is not coming as prescribed in the rule. But the new rule has also said one line which can be used for not as a which can be used for benefit of biomedical waste disposal, not as a full-fledged common biomedical waste treatment facility, but a, a smaller facility where treatment and disposal of all the waste, all categories of biomedical waste is possible. So that can be done through an existing hospital, say a civil hospital, or a existing private hospital. But I always prefer some government and public and PPP mode, public-private partnership mode. So it is, if it's a private government hospital with a tying up with a private party, and the party should invest for the machineries, and the government hospital will provide the space that is required, or the space will be provided by the government hospital and even the machinery, but the maintenance of the machineries and the plant will be given to the private hospital. In that way, this kind of project, small project, can be made very viable. But putting so much of money for a place where if, number of beds are below 5,000 or 4,000, then it is going to be difficult. So government can try even that part, that public private partnership mode. Say if you make the Tinsukia civil hospital, if they provide a land, that land should be or space, that space should be slightly away from the main building of the hospital, and that will be decided by some expert or pollution control board. And if they provide the housing, even if they provide the machinery, then they can call for a tender, or they can call for interested parties, or expert parties. It should not be directly on. They should go and directly um, go for a tender. The party who is going to run the facility should be a credible one, because you cannot. As I have said, there is a huge difference between running a normal industry and industry related to this sector of waste management. So there should be proper dedication. As you are also into this sector, you know how much dedication you require. So in that way, again coming back to the point, the smaller facility can be implemented, and they can provide service up to 75-kilometer distance, no problem at all. uh, Only the thing is that in that way you don't have the bindings of huge in the investments and all. And um, as far as machinery is concerned, the government can provide, or they can uh, put their own finance on those machineries, or they can keep that option for the private entrepreneur also. So in that way, that is very much possible.
So basically, what you were talking about, aggregation of many small towns to one government civil hospital, where the system can be set up and the collected materials can come and get processed and decontaminated
Yes,
and
yes,
separately
yes,
disposed.
yes. But before that, the pollution control board, as they are the prescribed authority, they should mm,
Approve it.
no, yes, they should approve it, and they should make a map of Assam, and they should divide the map into zones, feasible zones, and they can take the help of an expert, that if we are going to start something in Duliajan, or Tinsukia, Digboi, then that zone should be marked. And in those zones, they should ask all the hospitals to join this
Right.
venture.
Yes.
So even though if the government hospital provide those this kind of things, if even though there is a joint venture, but people should come out, and they should join here, because again I'm talking about the situation 2003 in Guwahati, and that is there in Upper Assam also. There has been a lot of open space, and you may find difficult to make people understand to pay you for disposal of biomedical waste,
Right.
because they have options of disposal in those places, in open spaces. So in that way, those zoning of the Assam state map is required, and after zoning it, implement this project, and then parallelly the regulatory authority will ask those hospitals, because they have got the records, who are the names of the hospitals, and healthcare facility generating, and they will ask them to join this joint venture. So in that way, it will become.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I'll open it for our viewers to ask questions. I know it's a very technical subject, so there is so much to learn. But okay, welcome viewers. If you have any questions, if you have questions on the Facebook, Milin, uh, you can just type on the chat box, and I will pass it to Partha. Otherwise, welcome to ask your questions directly to Partha.
Partha, I have a few questions.
yeah,
First of all, so what is your message uh, to people who say that there's no job in Assam, or specifically those engineers who quite often left Assam or leave Assam because they say that there's no jobs? So you were an engineer, you had a very well paid job, and you created your own job here, and created also providing employment to others. So would like to hear about that from you.
yeah. Two things I would like to say here. Uh, One thing that is always there in the books and topics, but that is what I felt. That's what I'm saying, though it's
Yeah.
available in the books.
Okay.
One is your frame of mind. First, you ensure that you are in the right frame of mind. That you keep the positivity. First, if you don't think positive, if you don't keep your frame of mind positive, that's a big challenge itself. So you have to be positive. And the second thing, which is more practical, that is in not only in engineering, even a commerce graduate also, even a student from medical sector, even any sector, you will get to learn things which very practical things which are going to help you in your business. Why I am saying, I was a mediocre student in my college. So Weber was very those students in the first bench, they opted for structural engineering projects. And because since I was a mediocre student at that time in the 90s, so I didn't I was not been able to get the structural side. So but I was happy because since I I was able to get a project in the environment sector. So that too. There are two projects I did. One was solid waste disposal, biomedical solid waste disposal in downtown hospital, and the second project was the treatment sewerage system and treatment in Phatasil municipal market. And Phatasil municipal market, that topic was chosen by me only because I live in this place, uh, uh, Phatasil Bazaar area. So I never thought that why I have chosen, because I felt that okay, this is the right thing I am doing in terms of, since structural engineering is very difficult for me. So okay, I'll better go and collect the data. So I have few other friends, they were busy in some other works, so I went and got the data. So first of all, the biomedical waste disposal topic I have taken, and ultimately I got some data. Not I won't say that the I knew all the 100% things, but I got the basic idea. Again, studying the Phatasil Bazaar sewerage system, it gave me the idea what a sewerage system is. And I'm talking about the year 1993, or maybe four. So now see, at this point of time, what my primary business is, the biomedical waste disposal. which came in fact from my environmental engineering uh, subject project. And the second project, that too, that is uh, effluent treatment plant. I supply effluent treatment plant, sewage treatment plant, and wastewater management systems. So that too came from that. And believe me, those were very crude projects, but very good data collected projects. So the second point, what I would like to convey the students or new pass outs or any youngsters, whatever you did, you may think that, oh, I have not studied very mm, in a very perfect way. It may not be helping me because I have forgotten all those things. No, your brain never will keep at least 10 to 5% in its mind. And you have to, again, coming back to the first point, your positive frame of mind and whatever you have studied in your school, colleges, that is going to help. There are ample of opportunities. And the thing is that money is always going to come. You don't have to see here and there. Money is always going to come. But when you are in 20s or early 20s, you will think that, oh, I have to do something to earn money. But even you also have understood that money is going to come. But the thing is that what you have learned in your colleges or schools, that is very important. That is going to help you. Because I after passing on the last line, what I'm saying, the after completing my engineering college course, I joined in a join in oil sector. Never thought that I'll come back, and this knowledge in my college days will help me in starting my business. So it is going to happen at some point of your life. Your education will help you. So whatever you do, don't be upset. Don't, keep your positive frame of mind intact. And whatever you have learned, even in one line, also one paragraph, is also is going to help you. Be you are an engineer, or you are a commerce graduate, you are a other science graduate or arts graduate,
So
it's not,
substance.
whatever you have done, it's going to help.
Thanks, Pratim.
Thank you. Eh,
Since
Sanjay, I have one more question. Can
yeah,
I?
so he had requested 1 hour time. Okay, you may go ahead with a short comment and question, please.
Okay. So since you were talking about the disposal, immediate disposal of medical waste, right? How important it is that it has to be disposed immediately. But beside human waste, there is animal waste, animal medical waste, or animal dead bodies, and there's nothing happening over here. Are
Right.
you planning to do something? I mean, or do you have any suggestion from GMC? Because we are planning to go and meet with them. They had said that they would, in 2017, they said that they would do a disposal. They will put an incinerator for medical, for animal in 2017, but it didn't happen yet. We are planning to go and meet with them. What is your advice? What should we say? Can you take this project, or just wondering?
It's a great initiative you are taking, Milin. It's really a need of the hour for Guwahati, and not only in Guwahati. It's slowly it's going to be in other cities also. And yes, as municipal corporation might have told you that 2017 they were going to start. In fact, we are 3 4 years behind the schedule. This is the need of the hour. And as far as my part is concerned, as of now, I am not having that planning to for disposal of any animal carcass. But mm, I am there. If my service is required anytime for any waste management project, I will be definitely there, Millie.
But didn't you mention before that you are not using 100% of your furnace, right? I do not know 100%
Yeah,
capacity.
right.
If you have some capacity, remaining,
Yeah.
is there ways that you can, start
Yeah.
this
I,
doing this along in your current system?
yeah, I tell you one thing. Uh, you are very good at remembering the things. I have to be
Yes. Yeah.
cautious in my next time. Yeah. Had this pandemic did not arrive, I could have said that okay, we can use our facility for disposal of animal carcass and all. Yeah, but now we have understood what we have understood, because initially mm, in the rules or whatever you say, in any hypothesis, there was a calculation of generation of biomedical waste, that is 250 grams per bed per day. So our facility, when we started, the at the time our regulatory authority said that no, you should go for such and such machineries. And if you see to the calculations of those biomedical waste generation, these big machineries were not required. So I was bit upset about it, and I told you about it. But that means we had a very huge big machine if we compare to our requirement. But when this pandemic arrived, you won't imagine that uh, w- mm, the quantity of COVID waste we had to handle. We could not imagine also that this kind of huge quantity of COVID waste will come in the form of PPE, whatever it is. So that time, this capacity that which we felt that it is not required, uh, was came into help. And during the peak time, uh, 60% of the capacity of our facility was used. So that means, um, mm, if we dedicate, if we use our facility for such kind of animal carcass disposal during any kind of emergency situation, pandemic or war, or any kind of such emergency situation, this will become a big
challenge.
a big problem. But adding up to the thing, I would rather say that we have got machines which we may use it for disposal. But the thing is that again, the people's frame of mind will come into play. That uh, we have, in my locality, people have accepted that okay, biomedically waste or expiry damaged medicines are coming in such facilities. But you, for disposal of animal waste, uh, especially animal carcass and all, so any place near the municipal dumping ground will be most preferred place, where you will not get public complaints and
Protests.
yeah, so protest and all, so which is very common not only in Assam but also in the whole
Everywhere.
country.
And
Yeah,
during COVID, when you said that you had more waste, it is not the bodies though. You were not burning the bodies. It was
yeah,
the PP kits and stuff like that,
yeah,
right? Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I have many questions, but already Sanjay said
Yeah.
that you have limited time, so we will talk some other time, I
Yeah,
guess.
we,
yes,
we already have exceeded 9 minutes. So without taking much of Partha's time, who is keeping super busy, I would say, Partha, thank you so much for being
thank
part of
you,
this
thank you,
webinar. And we
thank
truly appreciate that you were able to give us time. Last time we missed you, and we
you.
dearly missed you. For no for sure, it's a collaborative platform. We'll get back to you again.
Yeah. It's a great initiative, and I really appreciate your whatever you are doing. And but the thing is that
In,
I
in
feel
future.
I feel privileged to be a part of this thing. Thanks, warm thanks from my bottom of the heart. But
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Partha. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.